morning, children. In this class, in this session today, we are going to discuss about the Cholas, who was a powerful rulers in South India, especially which was this kingdom was located in the Tamil Nadu region. Okay, so here we will study how the from Urayur to Tanjavur region, how which was very prosperous. The Chola kingdom, which was very prosperous in South India, in this region, how did they become powerful? How they rose to power? That is the question, or that is the topic we are going to discuss here. Here we know that there was a minor chiefly family, that means a small family, but it was the landlord's family. Chiefly family means it was a landlord family, which we often say. Previous class we studied that the kings gifted land to the Brahmanas or other prominent people. Okay, so here such kind of chiefly family or Zemindar's family, which was in the Muttarayar, was known as the Muttarayar. These regions, people and this family held power in the Kaveri Delta region. Kaveri, which the river which is flowing through Tamil Nadu region, or the peninsular river it is. So in this Kaveri Delta, the region of Kaveri Delta, Muttarayar family held very powerful in that region. Okay, so here they were actually the subordinate. Previous class we studied about Samantas, or subordinate kings, who are the smaller native rulers or the smaller landlords, but they were powerful. So this subordinate, so Muttarayar family were the subordinate of the Pallavas. Pallava rulers we can find in the Tamil Nadu region itself. Kanchipuram was their capital. Kanchipuram was the capital of the Pallavas. So the Muttarayar family was the subordinate of the Pallava rulers. Later, Vijayalaya, who belonged to the ancient chiefly family of the Cholas, he from Urayur, he captured the delta region of the Muttarayar, from the Muttarayar family. Okay, so here Vijayalaya, who was the Chola ruler, he also belonged to the Chola dynasty of the Chola family. He captured power or the region from Muttarayar family in the Kaveri Delta. So he set up a kingdom there, and also a new capital city he constructed, that was called in the Tanjavur region. There also he built a town in Tanjavur, also a temple. The temple was dedicated to god Nishumba Sudhini here. Okay, so goddess Nishumba Sudhini was the goddess this temple or the Tanjavur temple was dedicated to. So after Vijayalaya, that means the successors of Vijayalaya, they conquered the neighboring regions from this Tanjavur, and other regions from the Tanjavur neighboring regions were also captured by the other rulers in the Cholas. That means after Vijayalaya, who were the rulers ruled over the Tanjavur region. So that was known as the Chola Empire or the Chola Kingdom. Also we know that the other rulers were their Pandyan rulers or the Pallava rulers also. Pallava kingdom and Pandyan kingdom also existed in Tamil Nadu region. These territories also were captured by the Cholas. Okay, so the Chola rulers are expanding, their kingdom was extending out of Tanjavur region, out of Tamil Nadu, it is spreading other regions also. Here we come to study about Rajaraja I. He was one of the most powerful ruler of the Cholas. Rajaraja I became the most powerful ruler of the Cholas. He became the king 985. Rajaraja I became the ruler of Chola kingdom in 985. He also expanded his territories. Large regions were controlled by the Cholas. Okay, so here other rulers we can find Rajaraja's son, also Rajendra. Rajaraja's son Rajendra I, he also was a very prominent ruler, because he also captured some regions up to the Ganga Valley. Ganga Valley, where is Ganga region? Ganga region is flowing in North India and the present day Uttar Pradesh and Bihar regions. So he captured the regions up to the Ganga Valley region of Ganga. Then in South India, from India we know Sri Lanka was, it's a small island country. Sri Lanka was also captured. His expedition crossed the Indian border up to and reached even the Sri Lanka. So that for this purpose he also maintained or developed the navy also, because from going from Indian territory to the to Sri Lanka we need navy. So that he developed or maintained the navy also for the offshore expeditions up to Sri Lanka. So how he also constructed temples, we have studied in the previous class there. Kings used to construct temples also because it shows their grandeur, okay, so that their popularity increases when temples are constructed. So the Chola rulers also gave importance for construction of temples. So the big temples of Tanjavur and Gangaikonda Cholapuram, the region, he also constructed a city which was known as Gangaikonda Cholapuram, that is in Tamil Nadu. But why he had given the name for this city Gangaikonda Cholapuram? Because he captured the regions up to Ganga, that means up to the river Ganga. So he obtained the title Gangaikonda, which means in Tamil language Gangaikonda means the ruler of Ganga or conqueror of Ganga. So that he constructed a city Gangaikonda Cholapuram near to Tanjavur or Urayur. Urayur was also a prominent place in the Chola Empire. So here he constructed the big temples of Tanjavur and Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Also Rajaraja and Rajendra both were prominent rulers. They constructed temples. Also these temples have very beautiful architectural and sculptural marvels. We can find many prominent, very beautiful architecture here when we visit the temple. These are all so UNESCO's heritage sites because of a marvelous construction of temples. Here Chola temples were often became the nucleus of settlements. So that means people began to come and settle wherever the temples were there. Okay, because we know that many type of craft productions are taking place in the temple towns, like Tanjavur, which is famous temples are there, so that people associated with the temples, there are many works people can do, especially craft works. So people for doing many works in the temples and associated work in the temples gathered in this region and they came to settle here. So temple was a center of the town here. So many people like specialists, that means who are able to do some special kind of work or very prominent or efficient in doing some sort of handicrafts work, etc. So they lived near the temples. Especially we can find out priests. We need priests for the doing the pujas and worshipping in the all rituals and practices in the temples. Then garland makers. Garlands are made, flower garlands for offering to deity or god idols. They are making. So some people garland makers. Cooks are needed for prasadam and all which one was offered from the temples were given to the people. So for this purpose cooks are needed, for cleaning sweepers are needed. Some people who performed music and dances also. So musicians, dancers, etc. All these people who lived nearby the temple. So that in other words we can say temples were not only the places of worship, not only for worshipping purpose people are coming there, it was a hub of economic, social and cultural life also. The culture and economy of the people and the society also developed due to the presence of temples in the such kind of temple cities, especially during the Cholas. Chola rulers promoted religious construction of temples, etc. so that their name and fame also increases. Amongst the crafts associated with the temples, some sort of craft works, we can find making bronze images. Okay, especially they used to make bronze images. Bronze is a metal, looks like a gold, and it looks a golden color, yellow color. And bronze statues or bronze idols or bronze images of gods and goddesses were made. Not only goddess, and even about the devotees structures also were made in bronze also. Devotees means the person who is worshipping God, the person who is devoted to God. Okay, so they used to build bronze images of gods, goddesses and even devotees as well. In the coming classes we will study more about how the Chola rulers promoted agriculture and irrigation and their administration, etc.